I think I got la 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 la. Got this. Woo. Okay. So this is a short film. It's called Home on Time. Got it. Done. The end.
Yeah. Now some bloopers.
But this is Home on Time. It is a quite long short film compared to our others, and it's a very big short film compared to our others. Not big as in terms of lots and lots of people and crew and money spent. Big as in time spent and time put into it. This started as a class that I started this semester in school called Digital Multimedia. Basically, they gave us the option, or my teacher said that we're going to be doing Photoshop, and I'm like, hey, I've been doing Photoshop for like 5 years. So he's like, okay, you can do whatever you want to do. He's like, you pick your project, you tell me what it is, and as long as you turn it in before the end of the quarter, I'll give you a grade for it. So this is what I chose to do. I chose to do this awesome short film thing that I did. Basically I had to script it, come with a shot list, organize the crew and everything, and actually film this whole short. I put like about 8 weeks into this short film, so it's been a long process. Yes, back to what I was saying. I like it when I move my hand like this. It's like popping out at you. If we could just reach out there and touch the watching people. I spent about 8 weeks on this, which is about 7 weeks and 6 days longer than I normally spend on a short film. And this is actually, I think it's the first short film outside of the Silent War that I've shot that I've actually scripted. Fantasticals. I basically had this idea where I was going to base it off of one shot, and I had like these different shots in my head, and I decided to go with this one, and the shot actually was basically the argument between him and Ron, as the story conveys him to be. Put that back on full screen and restart it. That's what cool kids do. Anyways. So, I knew that Connor could play an angry person very well, and Connor actually acts outside of videos. He does plays and stuff, so he acts for a hobby. He does it pretty often, so he's a good actor. But an interesting thing is that when we were filming, he kept messing up his lines consistently. Like, well, at least 10 takes of that one shot.
Oh my goodness, yes, he kept cracking up.
Of just like an opening line. We had at least 10 takes of the opening line. So he kept messing up a ton. Interesting things. One, this is the first video that we've actually used a camera crane on. Our little homemade rotary crane that we got from the interwebs. Next thing was that this is also the first video where we've actually consistently ran audio. In the past, we pretty much always just do what we're doing now, and is actually using the in-camera audio. Occasionally we'll use the Tascam. We're shooting like a short film or something, but that was always a hassle. Recently, I got a boom mic. It's the Audio-Technica A6550. It's one of the cheapest boom mics out there for the quality. And it's really great. We used it for the whole thing. We used a little boom pole thing that I bought. And yeah, it was basically about that long too.
Yeah, it was only like 3 feet.
But it was a little boom pole. We hooked the mic to it. We ran that directly into the camera because we couldn't get it to work with the Tascam DR40 for some reason. Third thing to note is that there are some, just a tad bit of visual effects. And it's actually because one of the interesting things is that when we were shooting, Ron is supposed to have a picture of Tim. Me being stupid, I didn't plan ahead, and I didn't print off a picture of Tim ahead of time. We actually just took a piece of paper, like a note card or something, and I took a green marker, I wrote some green crosses on the note card, and made that our little tracking device, and we held that, and I used After Effects to put a picture over top of it. You can tell a little bit around the corners, but alright, so time into editing. This is going to be a long backstage crash. This is one of the longest filmings we've ever done. We started one day at basically about 5 o'clock because we had to get everybody ready. So we actually started shooting about 5 o'clock. And we started with the argument scene getting darker. So we had to do the outside stuff first. That came first. All this stuff happened. Lots of bloopers and blah 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 bitty blah. We went inside, shot some argument scenes, and then we went the second day we went to our second location to shoot. We had one scene and then a few little extra shots to like filler shots in, which was at a little place called Smith's Coffee.
Mr. Smith's Coffee Shop.
Coffee House, actually. But
yes.
pretty cool place in town. Apparently they have good coffee. I don't drink coffee, so I don't know how their coffee was. He drinks coffee.
Good
so.
coffee. But the place is really neat. I suggested we go there because my dad always takes me there, and it's got a really nice atmosphere, and it's not usually as busy as Starbucks is, so it'd be easier. And the people were nice, and it's just nice on the inside because there's art all over the walls.
That was our first time actually shooting. Well, actually, it wasn't my first time shooting in an external location because I did shoot a video at a gym once. But it was my first time actually going out on my own and asking someone else to use their location. So thanks to them for that. So we shot that scene there, and then I took Alex back home and we shot just a couple filler shots. And when we were doing one filler shot, we were actually supposed to do a shot where he pulls a bottle of alcohol out of a cabinet, and we didn't have any alcohol. So we just got a bottle of sparkling juice from my parents. If you see that shot in there, you know it's sparkling juice from my parents. Time into editing. Countless hours into editing this, and it's over again. Let's start it back over. Geez. 13 hours spent in Premiere and After Effects. It was just over and over again, replaying and fine-tuning, finessing all this little tiny stuff. And overall, very pleased with it. I think it was the best short film that I've done. And actually, it's the only short film I've done to date that I am actually pleased with. So
It's really funny because after this was shortly after this was released, you could walk around school like at lunch. People would have their laptops out. You'd see them watching it.
Yeah, it was interesting because after this came out, there was like a whole bunch of people coming up to me like, "Dude, I watched like all your videos last night." I had like 3 or 4 people do that to me. They're like, "Dude, I watched all your videos last night because I just started watching them and I just kept watching them all." So
it's like I think my grandma's is our biggest fan. Ad time. So, are you looking to pimp your attire? Well, check out District Line /OneUp Film Crew right in the link where my hands are.